and
Any
then
one
you
of
don't have to
these?
wait. Yeah. There you go. You hit the drum. Good job.
Okay. Oh, good. I could hear it. There was a bit of a delay, but then I heard it.
Yeah, after the first click, it'll be right away.
Oh, good. All right. Well, let me just
Okay.
go back and get people coming in, but I'll be sending them over here, so hopefully we'll be getting enough people assembled soon to get started. And Farah should be here. She came over already. So I'll see
Hi,
you in a
I'm
moment.
here.
Hi,
Hi.
Farah.
Hi, I'm here.
Great. Just take a seat and we're rounding up everybody. I'll see you
Hi,
Okay.
guys
Ollie.
in a bit.
Nice to see you.
Okay, bye. And hi, a
Bye.
cup of tea. I do love the name.
It's
I
a
thought that was so clever.
hey.
Yeah.
A cup of tea, exactly.
A cup
With
of
that
tea.
Irish, a cup of
Oh,
tea.
you're not coming over from Ireland, are you?
I'm
Yes.
beaming in from Dublin, so I've stayed up extra late to hear my
Oh,
friends
Ah,
sing.
oh, I love the accent. Oh,
I was just in V time and spent some time with a guy named Jordan from England. We
oh,
were
wow.
checking out V time.
Wonderful. Well, let me go round up people. I don't want anyone to get lost. So I'll be back shortly. Okay,
Everybody.
this is fun.
All right.
Hey,
And
Sean.
Sean, Scott, these folks can help you organize things over here.
Sure.
Sean, Scott, I'm going to be corralling people and getting them over here. So if there's things you want people to do, just please do tell them what to do, and I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Hey, Sean, would you click any one of the and I hear a lot of cymbals. I like it. Later on, I'll play you one of my favorite ABC riffs, which is like
Ooh, nice.
um um or
Oops, sorry. Just trying to make sure everybody's here. Don't mean to be rude and standing on people's heads. I'll be back.
There's a
Hi,
roof end that
Rich.
I think is stuck underneath the building.
Hi, Eugenio. Eugenio, Eugenio, I should say, if you right click on those boxes, like right over here, it'll bring you right over to the, where they're waiting. And how are you doing? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Hi, how are you?
good.
Good to
Nice to hear
see
your
you. A long time
voice.
ago.
Oh, wow. Well, they're going to be starting up soon, so I'll get
Okay,
you going. If you right click on the box with the logo you designed and click teleport, you'll find the rest of the gang.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, and nice to see you.
Actually here.
Hi, Ruth Ann. Hey, everybody, you can stay in your chair, but behind me, this is Sidearm in the red-haired avatar. There are some black and white objects on the display here. Just click one of them and make sure you can hear a sound. Like, oop. Oh, good. You guys are quick. Yeah, just as long as each one of you make sure you can hear a sound, then you're good. Then you're good to go. Hey, thanks, Beth.
Hi, everybody. It's Eileen, and we're waiting for a couple more people. I'm going to be herding people over here, and but I think we need an MC over here. Sidearm is in the back. He's going to be our fearless leader. He has really put some very interesting interactive materials on this island, but we told him we were going to get you assembled here. And hi, Selby. I'm wondering if, let me just do a quick moment of getting some intros from people who maybe others don't know. A cup of tea. Do you, could you turn on your mic and just tell people where you're in from?
Yep. I'm coming from Technological University in Dublin, Ireland. Normally, I inhabit Second Life, where I teach an undergraduate module and have been doing for about 11 years. And Sidearm is actually a graduate of that module from very early days. In fact, I think the first iteration of it, and a current collaborator, guest speaker, and general supporter and helper.
And he's been assembling some amazing materials we're going to hear. Oh, and I think Bethany's getting her voice back too. Let's see. Now, I'm looking at the group. Most of the others. Selby, you want to say hello? We have a number of students here from the Sunni Empire. And here comes Lucia. She's coming in from Italy right now. And sometimes she doesn't like to use her mic because of having it's late at night there, and she might wake up other people. But Selby, you want to say hello to the group?
Well, I'll just say hello, but I'm actually having dinner at the same time, so I won't be using my mic much. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and right, and Selby is he's actually has a blog with over 2 million hits, and he blogs about us at times too, so we're very thankful. I'll just pull a few more people. In the meantime, I'm kind of watching to see if anybody's stuck trying to get in. How about Karen? Karen, can you get your mic? We'll see if she can turn her mic.
Hi.
Oh, Karen, say hello to us and tell us a little bit about
Hi,
you.
everybody. I'm Karen Forrester. Right, I'm a student at the Mallet program at ESC.
With many, and Karen has
Hi,
many different
Farah.
talents. Yeah. From K-12 to instructional design, and right now she's working on some very interesting work on not-for-profits. And let's see, Lucia, any chance you can take your mic? Or if not, type in a quick hello. And you know what I'm thinking for time's sake, because Sidearm has quite an interesting presentation for us. Could I ask you all to just type in the chat where you're coming in from, maybe your interests. I will capture this and send out later a follow-up from the chat. But I want Sidearm to take over. So if you could all please, your name. I always love to hear geographically where people are coming in from. Not required, but if you put that in, a little bit about your interests. And, content areas, technologies, things that you are interested in. And if you're new to this, I think most of you have used this, there's a nearby chat button on the bottom. There's also a little speech bubble. If you click that, you will get more information on everybody. So I'll let you just see who's here. And I've got to run over and rescue a few people who are in other places. So, Sean, I heard your mic was working. Sean, do you want to come up here for a minute? Sean or Scott or Bethany? Sean, Scott, Bethany, and Al are members of the steering committee. If you want to either come up and intro our speaker and get things started while I round up a few people that are lost in cyberspace right now. And I will be back, but we want to give Sidearm a chance. He's got a lot to say. And so, yeah, Scott or Sean, Al, one or all of you, and I will be back shortly. But launch Sidearm, I think he wants us to get moving too. So the show is yours, and thank you, Sidearm, for coming, and thank you, everybody else, for coming. I know you have lots of commitments, and I will say goodbye, round up a few more people, and come back.
So Eileen, you know, when you round them up, just send them directly to Demo Area C. That's where we're going to go as soon as Sean's done.
I'll send them over there. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name's Sean Andrews, member, graduate from the Mallet program, and member of the Institute of New Paradigm.
Created by Sidearm.
Hi.
But I'm not quite sure where that is. And she said that greeters would assist.
Hi. I'm hearing somebody who's lost, and I'm here to find you. Oh, good.
Hey, find us. Please find us.
But I'm hearing you're getting to talk to each other.
Minutes late. Yeah.
Well, and this island's getting big, and it's kind of hard to direct everybody. Hi, Elvie. Hi, Irene.
Hi.
Eileen. We all have those I sounds at the beginning of our names.
Yes, we do, don't we? How are you?
Good. Good. I've been surviving, and obviously we're all at least here today. I've been hearing, actually, one of my sons has COVID, but he he works for a hospital. He's a tech guy, and he already had been vaccinated twice.
Oh, good.
So he didn't get it that badly, but so I'm not too worried. But,
right.
It seems like I'm just glad when I hear everyone's doing well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know what? I'm going to try to take something out of my inventory. What I did was made this little box.
Oh,
and if
cool.
you right-click it, it teleports you to where they are. But they were also going to go moving. If you can't find them, if you open the map, they'll go over to the C thing, which is in the top right. But if you right-click this box, I think you'll catch up with them fastest.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellie.
Good to see you.
Good, and nice to see you, Irene.
PowerPoint, and I was reading everything.
Oh, I know. You see, there's a lot for people to know.
For doing such a good job. I'm glad he didn't get it badly.
Yes, yes. Oh, I was really grateful when I heard that. So, he's out. He's on the West Coast, and I'm on the East Coast. So, although
that's hard too.
I know. Well, my daughter, his sister, is out there too. So at least there's some family there.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
My kiddos, and I will be. Really want to go see this. I'll be quick. But my daughter and her husband had to go to Mayo Clinic to have him checked out, and they got it traveling back, we think, from Mayo. They didn't get it at Mayo Clinic. So,
Oh, interesting. Oh, dear.
Just healthcare is so at risk.
Yeah. No, I could see. And my son, he's generally a little, kind of brags a little bit about he doesn't get sick, even though he's around. He's a he's a tech guy, but he gets into all the different areas, so, but, he claimed he really only had a sore throat, and he got tested because some other people had gotten it. So,
wow. Well, that's encouraging that the vaccine is helping then.
Yeah.
At least with the symptoms, at least.
Yeah.
So.
So but anyway, well, that's why I'm appreciative of being able to meet virtually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I was looking forward. I'm sorry I'm not able to come to as much as I was hoping I was able to, but I wanted to support Sidearm and his bills, so I will find him.
And I'm not sure I opened the world map. There are a bunch of people over in the top right, so they might have gotten there, but the other ones might still be. I'm not sure why some are still at the meeting place. So you can either, teleport over to the meeting place, but then if they've already migrated over, then just go over under that C where you'll see a bunch of people and you'll find them there.
I'll be glad to do that. That was actually how I was trying to find you guys anyway. I had just done the local map, but
Oh, I
so
know.
thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you for coming. That's very nice of you.
My pleasure.
Molto più pratica.
Oh, hi guys. Oh, it's just
Yeah,
the
we're
folks.
trying to get Lucia over there.
Oh, can she go? She should be able to go from the map. Are you trying to get her there?
Yeah, my Italian is very broken.
But
But she
she's
said I should.
generally good at reading the English, though. Okay, well, I'm going to go back and find out where everyone else is. And plus, Al, you're our main recorder, so I'll go over and find people.
Yeah, let me jump over. Let me get.
Oh yeah, I'll text Lucia and make sure she's gone. She must be over there now.
I see you guys over there.
Okay, see you soon.
Please follow my avatar with your eyes as she moves from slide to slide. I am now going to sit on top of the first slide. I'm assuming you all can see me. If you can see me, just type a Y. Top of the first slide. Okay, Tay's on top of it. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. For familiar with Alt-click or Option without the click to zoom on the displays, that's how you look at them. Thank you again, Richard. This is hybrid tech and cross-dimensional thinking. First slide. Thank you for your time and attention at this hybrid tech and cross-dimensional thinking demo sponsored by Institute for New Paradigms. My avatar name is Sidearm, and in virtual worlds I teach professional team building and online collaboration, which is one of the ways I met a cup of tea here. I also met him live in Dublin many years ago. Zoom, Skype, Discord, WhatsApp. Today we're faced with an alphabet of options while we daily deal with our lives, careers, and studies. What is an avatar to do? Can humans cope and rise above the confusion of what to use when, where, and for what? Of course we can. Hybrid tech means combining tools in optimal ways by playing to their strengths and mediating to their weaknesses relative to the use at hand. Cross-dimensional thinking means combining perspectives in optimal ways by playing to their commonalities and mediating their differences relative to the use at hand. The flowchart in this slide shows combining tools and perspectives to create use cases based on needs. It's up to us to use our priorities to drive how we use technology options, not the other way around. Usefulness trumps coolness. Perspective trumps confusion. We will now review 3 use cases demonstrating how tools and perspectives can be blended interchangeably relative to the use at hand. We're shifting position to the second slide. Next slide. What's your IPD? This slide shows a definition of IPD and a demonstration of how it's measured. Interpupillary distance is the distance between your eyes. IPD must be set correctly in eyeglasses and VR headsets for them to work. The first image shows how to measure your IPD using a mirror and ruler. The second image shows an example of measuring your IPD using an iPhone app. Do you use eyeglasses? Do you use VR headsets? What's your IPD? Next slide. Headsets in medicine. This slide shows a use case of a virtual loop. The first image on the left shows a surgeon's loop, which is a pair of eyeglasses with stereo microscopes attached. Loops are used for precision in many types of surgery, including ophthalmology, orthopedic, gynecological, otolaryngology, neurosurgery, oral, plastic, podiatric, and pediatric. Surgeon's loops must be custom made for different IPDs, like eyeglasses, and in matching sets for different magnifications. The 3 images on the right show a virtual reality headset with stereo cameras featuring variable zoom, like a digital camera, and a step motor for automatic adjustment to the user's IPD. The last image on the left shows a surgeon using a virtual loop to practice microsuturing as part of a case study sponsored by Vario and Virginia Tech. Next slide. What's your TLDR? This slide shows definitions of TLDR, attention span, and a demonstration of ways to refocus attention that has been lost. Too long, didn't read, refers both to the material that is inherently difficult to understand and to ways of making such material easier to understand. For example, providing summaries of key points. Do you encounter material difficult to comprehend? Do people find your material difficult to comprehend? What's your TLDR? Next slide. Biosensors in e-learning. This slide shows a definition of biosensors and a demonstration of their use to identify ways to maintain attention. The first image shows a volunteer test subject, watching and studying presentations online. Eye tracking, galvanic skin response, and EEG are used to monitor the volunteer's visual, emotional, and cognitive engagement. The second image shows guidelines for designing online presentations that maintain attention from a case study sponsored by iMotions and Corporate Visions. It was called, as you might expect, the Zoom Fatigue Study. You can test and use these guidelines on the slide for yourself by looking at your own materials and presentations that you have found to be effective. Next slide. What's your MA? The top of this slide shows a definition of music awareness and a demonstration of musical awareness components. Sensitivity to melody and rhythm in sound extends itself to musical expression in sound, such as being able to hum to a song or clap to a beat. There are online music awareness tests you can try for your own curiosity and interest. Do you have a favorite song or beat? Are you a musical prodigy lying in wait? What's your MA? It's 3D in music. The bottom of this slide shows a 3D orchestra kit and a demonstration of instructions for use. The 3D orchestra kit is part of a use case exploring ways to extend musical awareness and expression using 3D. It features a synthesizer, rings, a drum kit, circles, and a keyboard, cubes. Next slide. What's your 411? This slide shows sources of material covered in this demonstration. Reference links are live in the slide deck link provided separately by Eileen. Thank you for your attention and interest so far. We have seen 3 use cases demonstrating combinations of tools and perspectives: headsets in medicine, biosensors in e-learning, 3D in music. I hope you're finding these examples evocative. What applications do you see in your work and studies? Jot these down for later. We will now proceed with a live audience interaction with music in 3D. I'm going to hop down here and walk to the center of the big C with you all. Please follow me to the first music in 3D display by walking with me through these slides. Walk through the sleeping girls. Walk through with me now. Follow me. Towards your left there. Good. Follow Farah. You guys are right on task. Good job. Music in 3D. Display. Combining platforms can facilitate artist expression. This display shows the use of 3D models built in Firestorm and downloaded into a music animation program. The models are combined with music to make a video for sharing online. The image on the left shows chain links that are colored and animated by the volume of the music they dance to. You can actually see the 3D chain links right next to Farah that were downloaded. In the animation, they become colored. The image on the right shows octal tubes that shimmer against a flying star field inside a circle, responding to parts played on winds, string, and percussion. next to Bethany, you can see how this was built, starting with half of a hollow tube and then assembled together into S shapes and then rotated until I got what I call an octatube. You can upload and you can download 3D models using Firestorm. What ideas occur to you about that? Hopping down, please follow me to the next 3D in music display. Right over here. I will sit again. Display. 3D piano kits allow visual as well as aural composition. By the way, if you haven't clicked a piano, go ahead and click one of these colored cubes to make sure you can hear things. Good job. Thank you for your accompaniment. This reminds me of high school band. This display shows the use of 3D piano kits built in Firestorm. Sound files are uploaded from a music annotation program and played using a simple touch script. The image on the left shows kits using traditional black and white piano keys to play custom 12-tone, 6-tone, and 8-tone scales. These custom kits play correct scales, but their color coding obscures their differing pitch functions. The image on the right shows a 3D piano kit whose keys have been color and size coded to represent scale modes such as minor and major, and note functions such as root and neutral. The image also shows using the piano kit simultaneously in Firestorm while composing in a music program. 3D piano kits can be extended to help work out dramatic interval changes, as illustrated by the 3-octave kit in the front of the display that you've all been clicking on. If you haven't tried it yet, try the bottom of the scale on the top. There you go. Please follow me to the next music in 3D display. Hearing now, somebody's found the synth, drum kit, and piano. The image on the left shows the anatomy of 5 musical scales. We'll be playing the ones in the upper 4 rows. Here's a quick overview. Click orange if you want to feel grounded. Click blue if you want to set a mood. Click gray if you want to strike a balance. Click pink if you want to call to action. Click green if you want to float above it all. The image on the right shows the anatomy of a drum kit. Here's a quick overview. Click kick if you want to set a beat. Click cymbal if you want to catch attention. Click hi-hat. Someone else found the choir synth, by the way. Good job. If you want to accent something. Click snare if you want to syncopate the beat. And click the tom, you hear it now, the tom, if you want to change things up. Please follow me to the center of the circle stage, live from INP. Guys are having a hoot. Okay, into the center of the stage. Center stage, all of you rising stars. Circle stage. There are 4 separate orchestra kits here. Please pick one and walk over to it now. I will wait. Pick an orchestra kit and walk over to it. There are 4 of them. I will wait. There you go. There you go. There you go. Keep on going. Lucia, are you okay there? Okay, Eileen's got her own. Good job. Good. In a minute, I'll have you start playing, but here's a few tips. When you pick an instrument, rings, circles, or cubes, it doesn't matter, it's all good. To play the instrument, just click an object. I figured you figured that out by now. You can click more than once to stack the sounds, to repeat the sounds. The closer you stand to it, the louder it sounds. The further away you stand, the softer it sounds. If you're playing the drum, your job is to set a beat. Any beat. If you're playing the keyboard cubes, your job is to improvise a tune. Any tune. When playing the synth rings, your job is to set a mood. Any mood. If possible, try to listen and play at the same time. The group will go in and out of synchrony, and it will be awesome. And now, as I kiss my agenda goodbye, I give you this count to begin playing. A 1, a 2, a 3, go! Okay, let's try something. And everybody who's playing keyboard, click on the orange. Click on the orange over and over until you can hear everybody clicking orange. Good. Anybody who's playing the drums, click the pink circle. Click the pink circle together. And see if you can click it with each other. There you go. Okay, now I need a volunteer to start playing the gray cube. Half of you play the gray cube. There you go. Play the orange and the gray. There you go. And then who's ever playing the drums, half of you start playing the blue drum as well as the pink. There you go. Okay, it's time to get a little moodiness in here. Some of the keyboard players, play some of the blue cubes, please. There you go. If you play the orange and the blue against each other, you'll set a mood. And the drummers, if you play the pink and the blue against each other, you'll set a syncopated beat. Hello, Ellie. Okay, now the synth players, it's time for you to chime in and click that top ring. We need a little bit of choir synth up there. The orange top ring. There you go. And the other half of you, try the pink ring. It'll give us a nice contrabass. Ooh. All right. There you go. Now, I did mention that my agenda went bye-bye at this point. So, Eileen, I'm going to invite you to say when you want to do Q&A or wrap up or whatever. But I'm having a blast listening to you all play, so just have at it.
Well, and I'll ask...
By the way, you can also hum and sing.
Well, I'll ask too. You know, I don't know how many of you have sound. Maybe you could make us sing. But I wish I could say I have a musical talent myself. So how would you start some of us who really maybe don't have a musical talent? What would you suggest we start doing? And maybe we could build this up here. And are any of you folks in the audience here musically inclined? And could you, I think if we open the mics, if you have a headset, we won't get a lot of echoing. But if we get echoing, then you could just stop. But wondering, any of you teach music or have interest in music? Play a musical instrument at this point? Yeah, nobody wants to admit. Yeah, honestly, I was trying to see if I could put these in my inventory.
I took piano lessons for a long time when I was younger, but I'm incredibly rusty. But one of my questions is, um, like, how do you get someone who does know music to kind of break away what they know about from what they already know about um, instruments and notes?
That's a great question. By the way, I'm going around and I'm clicking every
Testing.
thing and sending it to copy. Scott, could you test if you can copy whatever you're next to? You just right-click and then copy if it's working, and then you'll get.
No, I don't have permission yet.
Okay, which one are you trying?
I'm on the blue one, right to my left.
Okay, let me see where you are. The blue one to your left. Okay, it should be the whole scale is copyable. I put any one copy on it.
It's not coming up as take a copy. Bethany, are you able to do that? I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear any sound.
Okay, well, what I'll arrange to drop copies on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we were to come back at another time. We know now where things are. Would you let us, if you'd give us permission, we would love to be able to put these in our inventory. And but Sidearm, you were telling me a story about how when you were learning to play music yourself and you had, first the piano, then the keyboard, if you were trying to learn music now, I can see there's a lot of different things I don't know and understand. But how would...
Well, I want to respond to Karen's question as well. I thought
okay.
That was you, Karen, right? I think. So the first thing is, how many of you can tell when someone is speaking with an accent? Just type a Y in chat. How many, when John a cup of tea spoke, how many of you could hear that he has an Irish accent? If you could hear that, guess what? You're musically inclined. So that's the first thing, Eileen and Karen, is people, and how do I say this? I always like drawing and stuff, but I feel like I'm not artistic. And then I read a book by Betty Edwards or somebody called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and then I realized, we all are artistic. It's just human nature, but we're sort of been, I don't know, brought up to think that only special godlike people have the right talent to do things. And make no mistake, sure, there are top talented people. But, how many people can tell Farah is... That's not fair. Farah, when you listen to us, we do not sound like where you live, right? That's my point. Accents are... human voices are musical. They have a rhythm, they speak with a pattern, some speak in a monotonic, and some speak with a lot of emphasis and going up and down the scale, and they raise their hands and talk like this. If you can hear that, you're musically inclined, because all that it means is melody and rhythm. Melody and rhythm, like that. So that's the first point. And then, what is my story? My story is, I took music class in grade school, and they just had us sit in a row and sing. I mean, sit in rows and sing. I remember Molly Malone, and we just had songbooks, and the teacher sat up there, and we started to sing in unison. God knows how it sounded, but I had a blast. And then, see, that was your voice. And then in some other class, they gave us a plastic flute called a flutophone, which still exists to this day. And this visiting instructor, to my second grade class, the visiting instructor showed us how to play Row Your Boat. Finger by finger by finger by finger. I can still do it today. And I was just stunned. The instrument. My kids took music here in Texas. Texas, believe it or not, is a huge center of teaching music and music theory. There's brilliant orchestras and bands. But they also teach them music theory. And I never had a lick of music theory in my life. So when I told you, orange notes are groundy and blue notes are moody, that's me learning music theory in my later years. Okay. And one reason I encouraged you when you were playing is to listen to the other sounds is after a while you'll automatically start to, like when I said everybody click orange together, you did it. It was easy, wasn't it? Or click the, everybody now, click a green circle. Just click a green circle. Then there you go. Now see if you can synchronize it. See if you can synchronize with each other.
What does it mean when you say to synchronize?
Well, you're playing at the same time or exactly opposite each other.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what a beat is. Boom, 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 boom. Hear the drums? They're doing it now. Boom. It's like when your hearts synchronize.
And I
watching
can see
a scary
Al
movie.
and Karen. Yes, I can, and I can see their avatars moving, their arms moving, which shows me something too.
There you go. Yeah, Scott says we need a metronome, which is exactly what the band director is. A band director is kind of the metronome. That's their job. So anyway, I grew up, I played clarinet. And the trouble with clarinets is you can only play one note at a time. I'm sure you knew that, but and so the only way I could never play a chord. I could never play three notes at once.
Maybe you can consider to assign letters to the different sounds.
Yeah. What was your question? Yeah, they're.
For example, you have the drum. You can put, for example, any letter in your keyboard, and then one person can use the drum, another the keyboard. I don't know. But if you assign letters to every sound on a piano or a keyboard, maybe it will be nice.
Yes, there are programs that do that, Eugenio. Or you can get a music piano app for free on Windows and Mac, or on your phone. I have one on my phone, and I have one on my computer.
Yes, I understand, but what I'm saying, maybe in this space, you can write on a script that if you go to any of these instruments, maybe you can assign a keyboard. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's a good idea. Give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I looked up the script. Scott taught us in his presentation how to look up scripts and 3D models and things. And I used a script called, you'll be astonished to know, it's called Play Sound. So all of these objects just have one simple script in it that says Play Sound on touch.
And can you tell us how you got those scripts? I know there are different script givers. You just Googled it?
Well, to be honest, I went to the Second Life Linden scripting language wiki, which I can give you a link to if you want. And then I looked up all the sound ones and sorted them through. Or you can use what Scott does, which is the Open Simulator scripting language, which is basically the same thing. Maybe, you know what I should do? I should drop... I think I can drop one of these objects on you guys as a group. It'll have like a piano kit. Somebody's got their mic on while they're playing. Oh, there we go. Okay, what am I looking for? I have so many darn things here now. Piano kits. I have a traditional do re mi scale that I think kit that I can drop on you guys. That's color coded. So let's see if I know how to do that. If I do it this way. Scott, I'll share. I'm going to share. Oh, there it is. It's there. Share. Let's see if this will work. My God. Name. Oh, near me. I only want the near me people. Okay, there you are. Select. Okay, here it comes. If it works. Let me know if you got something called Piano Kit C4. All right, good. Now, you can res that anywhere you have rights, and it'll be, it won't be all 12 tones of the piano. It'll be 10, 10 tones of the piano, which, if you've seen The Sound Music, is what I call the do-re-mi scale. Now, would you all like a drum kit as well? I mean, I'm feeling generous today.
Honestly, right now, this island is open. I think everyone should be able to res or, build something on it. And although Farah's wearing it again, so she's going to have to learn how to I think she learned previously how to disconnect something. So if you slide it over on top of you, you can wear the outfit.
No, you don't. Well, I think you can play it if you wear it. Can anybody try that? I mean,
we should see if we can play Sarah.
yeah, play Farah.
Yeah,
I've been playing it already.
I never thought of that.
Well, plus, Sidearm, are you going to be kind enough to leave this here for a while so people can come back and play with this? And I know you have also things set up around the perimeter. Are those? Could you explain what those are too? Because
sure.
We don't. Even if we don't move there, if you could just tell us.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you. Okay, here comes the drum kit, guys. It's the same drum kit with colors that you're looking at, and unless you want it, I'm not going to worry about the synthesizer rings. The synthesizer rings are playing custom scales, and that's why there's 4 of them around the link. Oh no, says Scott. So Eileen, there's a really cool thing I just learned about late last year called, believe it or not, negative harmony. And I told you I never learned music theory growing up. I just played what my teacher had me play and the band played, and so I thought, I'm a physics major and a systems engineer. What is negative harmony? And the guy who plays it, his name is Jacob Collier, and he's like famous worldwide. And he has a groupie who just transcribes everything the guy plays and explains it. But anyway, if you remember, there's minor and major scales, and one scale makes you happy and one scale makes you sad. But if you put them, it turns out they're exactly mirror reflections of each other. So another word for mirror harmony is mirror scales. And so one of my displays at the far end of the island shows how you take a flat scale like the ones you're looking at and roll it into a big circle, and every blue note reflects another blue note. Every green note reflects another green note. Every pink note reflects another pink note. Gray and the root are exactly opposite each other. And the orange is called the root, and the gray is called the neutral. And they sort of are the anchor points. So that's me explaining music theory. But my favorite guy who explains music theory has a video called, he might as well call it "There is no spoon." He says music theory has no rules. It's just a set of recipes and toolboxes to make stuff that sounds cool. And music is this. There's a famous quote: "Art is what you can get away with," and he uses, music is what you can get away with. Since we're all musically enabled, as I think I've convinced you by now, since you can tell by John's accent. If you're interested, just click and play, what intrigues you. I learned a lot by following YouTubers, to be quite honest. Yes, Tay, you deserve the bow.
Well, and listen, I want to thank you very much. And I know it is, I don't know if it's considered super late or super early for some of you coming in from the other side of the pond, the big pond. And so I want to thank you, and thank you too for leaving this here. And so for anybody that has to leave before too long, I want to express thanks for the Institute itself and for the other folks. I know Sidearm put a lot of time into this, and he's been very generous with his time and his activities. So I think for all of us, you've encouraged us to be more musically inclined. And but if anyone has to leave, fine. But are there more questions for the group?
If I could just repeat my mantra, this is a use case of hybrid tech and cross-dimensional thinking, because I used MuseScore, Music Compositional Program, FireScore 3D Modeler, Linen Scripting Language, Magic Music Animator. I used Google Draw to make circles. This circle that we're standing in. I mean, if you tried to count how many different texts we all use every day, not just me, you guys, that's hybrid tech. And the second thing is your perspective. If you begin to think of yourselves as already musically inclined, you've already successfully shifted your perspective. And I'm saying that's one example of cross-dimensional thinking. So it's kind of my stealth agenda under all this. I knew you would love the music. I hoped you would love the music, and I knew that from what Eileen said. But it is a use case demonstration of hybrid tech and cross-dimensional thinking. And yes, Eileen, back to you.
We do have a number of really artistic folks in here. I don't want to embarrass them and point out who they are, but we've got people who've done a lot of work in VR environments and in their own, the old pencil and paper drawing. We have people running from that all the way up. So I think that we have a lot of talents, and our coming together and putting our different talents together is where we get, I think, the greatest interest. So I will thank everybody who could make it, but thank you, Sidearm, for really developing some wonderful things and leaving them so we can continue to test them and play with them, and encourage everyone to come back, bring others back. And, we are sometimes the choir here. We know what we can do. So, and I'll ask maybe if anybody on the steering committee has some closing remarks here, or if anybody else has a question.
I wrote my statement, but this still amazes me. I am still in awe.
And Sean, is Sean here? Sean, how do you see this? Sean's our K-12 tech coordinator. How would you envision some of your K-12 students using this?
Oh, it reminds me of, when I was in the Mallet program, I think it was Doris who put together an island that was, used a lot of these ideas, and they had the walk-on piano, and I remember just, spending so much time just walking across that and playing with it and clicking on it. And but as far as applying it to the students, I think as Sidearm was saying, you're drawing in all these different technologies. You're doing some 3D modeling, you're coding, you're putting in these scripts. And so I think, it's not just the product, but it's the process of creating all of this. And then, having also the product being something fun that you can play with and enjoy, it really makes it, feel like you've accomplished something and it's worth it at the end. So, and then even if you could, Sidearm, I think you said that you can actually have these go right into some sort of like mixing program, because I could see that being really cool too, where you have some people create some simple sounds and then loop them in a mixing program, and I think you could actually really build something that would be pretty cool there as well.
Yeah, Sean, I use something called Magic Music Performer, which is actually aimed at DJs. You can put an MP3 in it or use your microphone, and it will drive shapes. So they come with very simple a cube model, but then I thought, I wonder if I can download stuff from here, and I could. I also, Eileen, full disclosure here, I'm not just being generous. My music composition has gotten better because I've got these scales here. I have literally written on little Post-it notes and glued them to my piano, real piano, trying to keep track of these scale notes. These scale notes are tricky, and trying to remember which one is the root, which one's moody, which one's blah, 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 blah. In here, I just click on it. It's a piece of cake. I am composing real music here, guys, every day using 3D piano kits. I stream every day composing. So, to me, it's a fair exchange. I have no, and I like sharing a point of view with you all that I enjoy. So, fair is fair.
Well, thank you. And I'll ask a few other folks that I know here are very, to me, artistically inclined, however that gets defined. Well, we have Eugenio over here, and I really butchered his name for a couple of years, so I'm wondering if he might say something. He has some amazing islands that he's developed. And Eugenio, you have any ways you see incorporating some of this into your work?
Thank you very much to put me in the spot, and I appreciate it. And I love how you pronounce my name is correctly. Thank you. Okay, and I believe this is amazing. I mean, music is something that you can, the collaboration that you can have on the students, and also it's not, for example, you can put a keyboard. Like, do you remember that you can play a keyboard jumping on the keys? And maybe you can put sound on the floor and kids, they can start jumping. I don't know. There are many different possibilities that you have while you are walking or touching, discover different sounds. I mean, it's amazing. I never thought about this idea, and thank you for a very good presentation. And I definitely am going to incorporate this in my classes. Thank you.
And I don't know if Ruth Ann can take the mic because she's done a lot with VR too.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm really interested, well, as you know, I'm interested in architecture, and I'm kind of interested in the relationship between music and the structure of architecture. And I'm just thinking of ways that something like this can be used to kind of musically interpret different spaces within a piece of architecture.
Great. I see you bringing in different dimensions there. And Richard, I don't know if you can take the mic. Richard has, to me, classic art skills, but he also brings in a lot of technology skills. So I don't know if you might see how you could use something like this in your thinking or inventing. I don't know if Richard can take the mic. Well, and
Can you hear me
Karen,
now?
oh, there you go. Yeah, Richard,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
thoughts on this?
Currently, I'm actually helping to build a technology house in an underserved community. So I can kind of see the applications of this being used in that way because right now we're building up the curriculum of what we want to do. And this has really piqued my curiosity of where we could take this.
So you definitely have to stay in touch, Richard.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Sean's over in Brooklyn. I don't know where you are now, Richard, where you're doing the building, but I think I have a sense. Karen, you said something. Yeah. Go ahead, Richard. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I'm still on Long Island.
Okay. Yeah, Long Island's great once you get there, but getting across the bridges is a challenge. Karen also has some K-12 experience. Karen, you had some ideas earlier, but would you see how might you see using this with the diverse range of audience you've had in the past?
Hello? Okay. I like the way it expands your thinking. And so, I feel like this could be a really good team building activity because I feel like I know when you're teaching teenagers, one of the first things they try to do is tell you that they can't do it. You know, you would be like, let's make ice cream. Oh, I don't know how to do that. That sort of thing. And so being able to see music and to take something that is so universal could be make a really special learning experience for in the K-12 space.
Yeah, that would be great. That could be quite interesting. And well, I'm hearing things that I'm going to try to keep up with people later on. Scott, I think you can take the mic. I'm trying to get just a closure moment from people who can put in a second here. Scott, I think your mic is working. You want to? Where do you see this
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
growing?
really kind of intrigued. Again, I'm all about using VR as a transmissive media. How can we, in this environment, transmit information or create interactive experiences in the transmission of information? And I think you've got a lot to work with here. I mean, I could see you using this for music appreciation classes, for basic composition classes. There's a lot to work with, and things that I had never really thought of before. That's why I'm truly impressed here, Sidearm. This is a lot of fun. And I think I agree. You know, having something that you can get teenagers to interact with and play with is a great icebreaker, and it's unthreatening. And that's what's really, really great about it.
Now, I think that
You know, something I just noticed too was, you know, with these instruments, when you're using, you know, I'm using a trackpad right now, and it is a little difficult to sometimes, you know, move from one thing to the next. But I just tested my touch screen, and you know, I can just touch things on there too. So I think the dexterity of being able to use the touch screen and still make the noise could make it even better too.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
yeah, and I think some people here don't have voice, but let's see. Al spoke. Lucia doesn't really have voice here. Bethany, you still without voice? And let's see. Farah, you'll be the penultimate because we'll maybe wrap it with a cup of tea, who I think inspired this all way back to begin with. Farah, do you want to say anything in closing? Okay, so she's thanking you. And a cup of tea, do you want to take a bow and for the inspiration you've been to Sidearm and give us some closing comments?
Well, that's very kind of you. I'm not sure how much of an influence I was, but certainly I must say I really enjoyed this evening. There is something primal about music, and as Sight says, it's within us all. As is, I also believe, drawing and all those skills and arts. We may not all become geniuses, we may not all become virtuosi, but certainly we all have that ability, and it's actually very important that we do express ourselves. And the more accessible music and those other arts can be made, and the easier it is for us, the better. And making it fun like this is fantastic. I remember when I discovered Second Life, probably around 2007, one of the first really visceral experiences I had was actually playing music on gizmos somewhat like this, not as sophisticated as this one, but just playing it communally with a bunch of strangers that I bumped into, and we fell about the place laughing. So maybe I'd like to thank Sidearm for the presentation and for his generosity. Sight has been a stalwart to any of us who know him across the various virtual worlds and grids. He's incredibly generous with his learning and his experience, and I think this evening's presentation is another example of that. Well done, and thank you, and thanks obviously to Eileen and all the crew here for organising everything, and thank you for inviting me.
And you will stay on our distribution list, so I hope to see you again. If it's, I know the timing is difficult. That is the one thing when you're working internationally, it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a little bit late for me. It's midnight 30 now, so it's but I'll keep in touch. I'm delighted to be on the list, and I will drop by occasionally, but I won't promise to be here every time.
Okay, but we need to touch. For me, I need the touch of the old sod. Well, I'll be saying good night. We've been taping this. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Sidearm, for your considerable effort and for being willing to share this with us, and hopefully leave it here so we can continue to enjoy it. So good night, everybody. I'll be leaving. As you know, you can always stay. And thank you all for all of your efforts and, getting over to this. Bye, everybody. And Bethany doesn't have a voice right now, but she's been a real instrumental. Excuse the pun. Bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Eileen. Thank you.